Hello. So, have you really wondered what are the actual business reasons why people are using drones? Yes, it's all good to say drones are great to use because you haven't got the right access in certain place. You can capture the data using drones, and yes, it's all good because it's a flying object taking images and makes us all very excited. But fundamentally, what are the business reasons why people are using drones today? We'll have a look in this video. Hey everyone, I'm Varun from Hammer Missions, and if you've come across the channel before, you probably noticed that we make lots and lots of videos on the use of drone technology in the built world. And in this particular video, what I want to do is I want to talk about the business reasons for using drones. Now, for any business using drones, or for that matter, any technology, there's only two main reasons why they would adopt technology or any type of tool or any type of utility. And that's predominantly to either cut costs or to increase revenue. So most technologies, most businesses, when they're using products and services, they're really trying to do one of the two things. They're either trying to cut costs or they're trying to increase revenue, because ultimately all businesses want to be able to improve both the top line and the bottom line. And it is an interesting question to sort of like ask, where do drones lie on that spectrum? Are drones methods that actually cut costs, or are they things that increase revenue? So in this particular video, I wanted to just think about some of the use cases in which drones are being used and try to analyze from the business perspective, but actually, do drones add value from the bottom line or the top line? So conventional wisdom always talks about technology being deflationary, and that's true because essentially what technology does is that it replaces some existing process with a more efficient process. And that efficient process essentially means that you're no longer spending time or money doing something the conventional way and now doing it in a better way. And therefore you've got cost savings. So just from that sort of high level argument alone, you could argue that drones are actually a cost saver or cost cutter. And that's true. I mean, if you think about the different types of mapping and inspection that drones do, they're a lot more faster, cheaper, safer. Name your favorite adjective and you can apply it to a drone flight when it comes to sort of capturing data at scale. So, whereas it would take days, maybe even weeks for you to be able to capture data the conventional way of walking the site, or it could be, if it's a tall structure, climbing the structure or putting up a scaffold or using some form of method where you have to instrument the site, or getting a forklift, or some form of method where you really need to sort of get on top of a structure or walk a large structure or large site. Now that cost of acquiring that data has been essentially squeezed into a drone flight. So that makes a lot of sense with respect to sort of saving costs. And you could argue that drones save multiple levels of costs because it's not just about being able to capture that data quickly, but it's also about being able to capture that data in a structured way that you can really use for a number of different things. So cost cutting, yes, for sure. But then, do drones also add to the top line? So do they also help businesses increase revenue? And this is where it gets really interesting because, of course, drones cut costs. But if you think about the companies that are using drones, whether it's a service provider, whether it's an end contractor, building owner, engineering firm, an agricultural farm, an insurance company, all sorts of different end users. All of these users, at the end of the day, with respect to drone technology, they're not just capturing data, they're also now applying a lot of analysis and AI to all of that data. And this is where it gets really interesting because ultimately all businesses are providing services to an end customer. And that end customer wants to benefit from the savings that are provided with respect to sort of using new technology. And therefore, they might sort of say yes to a particular job or a particular bid because it involves drone use. And if you assume that to be the case, well, in that case, maybe you've got more jobs at a more competitive price, and therefore it's actually helping the top line of your business. So drones can also be a revenue enhancer because ultimately, if you think about the data that comes out of the drones, it can be applied to a number of different ways to actually win more contracts, to win more bids. And in fact, sometimes you can actually use the drone data to be able to sort of allow the end customer to understand what kind of relationship they'll be entering into and what kind of company they'll be working with. So I think that it's interesting how the technology started off by being predominantly a cost cutter and over time has really moved into sort of being a technology that helps end customers um, buy more and buy the right services and essentially help people providing these services be more competitive and actually improve their top line. So really interesting how drones have made that transition. And of course, a lot of it has been driven by using drones in the right use cases, using drones with the right tools to be able to capture data and provide data in a meaningful way. And finally, to be able to actually apply AI to drones to be able to actually have those increased efficiencies that allows every business to be much more competitive. So just wanted to put that out there. It's interesting to think about the business case for drones and why businesses are actually thinking about drones with respect to sort of the economics of the business. And so this is helpful because if you're a service provider providing a service, you need to really understand why your end customer is buying that drone service. Or if you're an engineering firm or a contractor or an architect or an agricultural farm using drones or an insurance company, you need to sort of understand actually where is this tool helping me in the business with respect to cutting costs. And maybe if you're a large company, you need to convince a lot of stakeholders around you in terms of what is the true benefit of this technology. And if you are able to articulate those benefits, both with respect to saving costs, but then also increasing revenue, I think that makes a compelling case for you to be able to actually adopt and champion the technology internally. So hopefully that video was interesting. Just a very quick overview in terms of how drones are both a cost cutter and a revenue enhancer. And at the end of the day, if you pull on both ends of those spectrum, you lead to more efficient businesses. And what's beautiful about this is that you've got new technology that comes in and allows for this and actually allows every business to do much better. And from the perspective of the value created, it doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. I think that drones and the data that comes from drones can be applied in so many different ways in so many different industries. There are all these different niches or niches to our American audience that appear, and you can apply that drone data in so many different ways that you get all these efficiencies that add up and allow for a great sort of business case for drones, whether it's internally within a drone program or whether it's provided through a service. So hopefully this video was interesting. Would be great to hear your thoughts on how you see drone data with respect to it being a cost cutter or a revenue enhancer. What kind of conversations have you had with your clients? What kind of conversations have you had internally? Do you see the pure business reasons for using drones the same way as we've articulated in this video? Would love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to this channel. We're making a lot more videos towards the end of this year and in 2025. And we'd love to get your thoughts on what you'd like to see. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you in the next video for Knowledge Hub.